artificial intelligence is moving faster than ever. Every week, the story gets bigger, more expensive, and more deeply connected to everyday life. This week, OpenAI revealed a major change to how ChatGPT remembers users. Nvidia continued building the infrastructure powering the global AI boom. Apple prepares its biggest AI push yet, with the future of Siri and Apple Intelligence under the spotlight. And companies around the world are racing to secure their place in the future of artificial intelligence. This is no longer just a story about chatbots. It is a story about memory, devices, data centers, software agents, and the systems that may power the next decade of work. Welcome to the AI Briefing. Here are the 5 biggest AI stories you need to know this week. Our first story comes directly from OpenAI. The company announced a new approach to ChatGPT memory called dreaming. Now, if that sounds complicated, here's what it actually means. Imagine your brain. When you learn new things every day, your brain doesn't keep every detail forever. Instead, it organizes information, removes things that are no longer important, and builds a better understanding of who you are. OpenAI wants ChatGPT to do something similar. Previously, ChatGPT remembered separate facts. For example, you like AI. You own a business. You want YouTube ideas. That kind of memory can be helpful, but it can also feel limited. It is like keeping thousands of sticky notes on a wall and hoping the right note appears at the right moment. With dreaming, OpenAI is trying to move from disconnected notes toward a synthesized understanding of the user. The company says the goal is memory that is fresher, more continuous, and more relevant over time. That matters because long-term users do not want to re-explain their goals every time they start a conversation. A creator wants ChatGPT to remember the tone of a channel. A founder wants it to remember the state of a business. A student wants it to understand what they are learning and where they struggle. But this also raises important questions. If AI understands more context, users will want stronger controls, clearer summaries, and simple ways to correct what the system believes. That is why memory is becoming one of the most important battlegrounds in consumer AI. The goal is to make future conversations more useful, more personalized, and more accurate. This could become one of the most important upgrades for long-term users. Because the future of AI isn't just answering questions. It's understanding context. At number 4, Apple. For years, Apple dominated smartphones. But many critics believe the company arrived late to the AI revolution. Now that may be changing. Industry analysts expect Apple to introduce significant improvements to Siri and expand AI features throughout its ecosystem. The challenge for Apple isn't building the smartest AI. The challenge is building the most useful AI. And that difference matters. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, and others are competing to build the strongest models. Apple is playing a different game. Apple controls the phone in your pocket, the laptop on your desk, the watch on your wrist, and the operating systems that connect them. The company has more than 1 billion active devices worldwide. If AI becomes deeply integrated into iPhones, iPads, Macs, and wearables, Apple could bring advanced AI features to hundreds of millions of users almost overnight. The key question is whether Apple can make AI feel invisible. Not another app. Not another chatbot. A layer inside messages, photos, mail, calendars, settings, and Siri. That is why investors and technology experts are watching closely. This isn't just about Siri answering questions better. It is about whether Apple can turn AI into something people use every day without even thinking about it. If Apple succeeds, AI could become less like a destination and more like electricity. Always present, always available, and quietly powering the experience. When most people think about artificial intelligence, they think about ChatGPT. But behind every AI system is an enormous amount of computing power. And that's where Nvidia comes in. This week, Nvidia remained at the center of the AI infrastructure conversation. As companies continue announcing partnerships, data center plans, and massive investments in AI systems. The reason is pretty simple. Every advanced model needs chips. Every AI assistant needs servers. Every enterprise workflow, coding agent, image generator, and chatbot needs compute somewhere. Companies are investing billions of dollars into data centers and AI factories. To understand the scale of this investment, imagine the early days of the internet. Before websites became part of daily life, someone had to build the cables, servers, routers, and networks. Today, the AI equivalent is being built with GPUs, high-speed networking, power capacity, cooling systems, and specialized data centers. Nvidia is not just selling chips. It is selling the foundation for the AI economy. That is why infrastructure has become one of the most important stories in technology. If model builders want bigger systems, they need more compute. If companies want private AI, they need secure infrastructure. If governments want sovereignty, they need local data centers. And if AI agents become mainstream, demand for compute may rise even faster. Every new AI model, every chatbot, every AI assistant, every agent completing real work, all of it requires enormous amounts of hardware. Many experts believe the next phase of the AI boom won't be only about software. It will be about who owns the infrastructure. And number 2, AI agents. This may become one of the biggest technology shifts of the decade. Right now, most people use AI by asking questions. They type a prompt, wait for an answer, copy the result, and then do the next step themselves. But AI agents work differently. Instead of only giving answers, they complete tasks. Imagine saying, book my flights, compare hotel prices, prepare a presentation, research competitors, update a spreadsheet, draft follow-up emails, summarize a meeting and assign next steps, and then having AI actually do the work, not just explain it. This is why major technology companies are investing heavily in agent platforms, computer use systems, workflow tools, and enterprise automation. The goal is simple enough. Move AI from assistant to operator. Move it from a text box into the tools people already use. For businesses, the appeal is obvious. Agents could reduce repetitive work, speed up research, automate customer support, help sales teams, assist developers, and connect different business systems. For workers, the impact is more complicated. Some tasks may become easier. Some jobs may change dramatically. And some workflows may be redesigned from the ground up. The most important detail is that agents do not need to be perfect to matter. They only need to be reliable enough for narrow tasks, with humans reviewing the important decisions. That is how automation usually enters the workplace. First it assists, then it handles routine work, then it becomes part of the operating system of the company. The age of AI assistants may be ending. The age of AI workers may be beginning. Our number 1 story isn't a company, it's a trend. And that trend is this: artificial intelligence is moving from tools to systems. That is the bigger pattern connecting every story this week. OpenAI is building intelligent memory, so ChatGPT can understand users over time. Apple wants AI integrated into daily life, across devices and services. Nvidia is building the infrastructure that makes bigger models and heavier workloads possible. AI agents are becoming capable of completing real work instead of only answering questions. Notice what's happening. The conversation is no longer about whether a chatbot can write an email or summarize a document. The conversation is about replacing entire workflows. The next phase of AI may be less visible but more powerful. It may live inside the phone, inside business software, inside browsers, inside operating systems, inside data centers, and inside the decision-making process of companies. The winners of the next decade may not be the companies with the smartest AI in a benchmark. They may be the companies that make AI feel inevitable. The companies that make it easy to trust. The companies that make it useful at the exact moment people need it. The companies that make AI invisible. Because once AI becomes part of the background of work and life, the market changes. People stop asking what model they are using. They simply expect the task to get done. And that's why this week's developments matter. Together, they show where artificial intelligence is heading next. From chatbots to memory, from apps to agents, from single tools to complete systems. Which story do you think will have the biggest impact? Will it be OpenAI's memory upgrades? Apple's AI strategy? Nvidia's infrastructure expansion? Or the rise of AI agents? Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you want a clear, simple breakdown of the biggest AI developments every week, subscribe and turn on notifications. This has been the AI Briefing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.